Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly Alianza Youth Talk. And today we'll be talking about drugs within the Latin and Hispanic community. So, yes, inside Charlotte. So, talking with you today is me, Miguel Urrego.
Ashley, hi.
And Lina Urrego. Yes. So, out of all the topics that we have discussed today, drugs, or specifically marijuana, we're going to touch a lot on like weed today, discussing it. It's probably the topic that mostly relates to Alianza because that's like what we are focused on, and alcohol.
Yeah, we exist.
So, as you may already know or not know, Alianza is this local organization in Charlotte, and our purpose is to create a drug and substance free environment for Latino youth in the Charlotte and Mecklenburg area.
Well, overall, we try to engage the youth, Latino youth in Charlotte, like such as ourselves, and we try to come up with different activities or projects where we can reach out to the community, probably like help out someone. If it's not necessarily like helping out someone, kind of like spread like that awareness or information on like the dangers of like alcohol or drug or overall substance abuse within the Latino youth population. So we have done different activities in the past, such as, I don't know if you would like to share some of them.
Some of our activities were a toy drive we did for, what was the name again?
For the Our Bridge Foundation for Kids. So we basically had a Christmas toy drive, and we wanted to donate toys to kids who didn't necessarily have that privilege of getting toys for Christmas. We've done the Alexander Youth Foundation Network. I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. We helped kids in the foster system, and we helped them get engaged in activities that just required them to like talk to each other, work with each other, have teamwork abilities. We were able to develop our own leadership activities and skills. And we do these types of activities and events in Alianza in the hopes to teach other teens and ourselves how to be better leaders in our community, how to have that like initiative to step up and
be the support for other people.
And be like, like be a good image and support for other people who may not necessarily have that initiative yet.
Okay, so enough for our Alianza ads.
Yes.
Now we're going to get to marijuana. Talking about it though.
In our research, when we are in Alianza, we have come up with several conclusions as to why teens may, I guess, like look for marijuana. And there are many reasons, and some of them may be like simply because it's cool, and that does happen a lot. Like that peer pressure exists. That's real. A lot of the times people don't know how to deal with their mental health, so they just
like a lot of people will face problems, and a lot of this information can be found in our past podcast about mental health. So a lot of people who they either face like a death in the family or unstable family situations or just personal like issues. They might find it difficult to speak to someone, and actually easier to sadly fall in the world of substance abuse.
like, and this is something that we can see like ourselves, like in high school right now. Excuse me, we're all high school students or have been in the past, and it's easy to see our friends saying like, oh yeah, I just purchased some weed, I just sold some weed. Like, it's something easy, and not easy, but like it's something common.
And
It's easy to get.
easy
It's
to get.
easy to get.
It is not like difficult at all. You can easily ask around, and you'll find eventually someone who will help you find what you are looking for. So
And going back to that peer pressure talk, we want to say that like that's real, and I on a personal experience, I think that kind of starts for me. It started like in middle school, where I first saw like people doing drugs and people being like, I'm like legit just straight up saying like I'm doing drugs because other people are doing drugs and it's cool. And then other people would be like, oh, I'm Hispanic, so I have to do drugs.
Yeah, like if you want to prove your true like loyalty to being Hispanic, then you have to smoke and drink as well, which is not correct at all. Like, and actually, we as Alianza, we did conduct some studies in 2020 where we found out that 60.9% of the students that consume weed said that the main reason why they did it was, to be cool,
To look cool,
and because like their friends were doing it. So this shows how like basically like peer pressure is like a big factor. I don't know if in your school you might have seen these like tendencies.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like in what way? Yeah.
Remember like for example, like I could be eating lunch and I have all my friends around me or something, and then more people come to the table, just like, oh guys, I just got high in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Literally like, okay.
Okay.
Like, literally like, oh, if you want some,
just hit me up.
Just go, or like hit me up, I'll get you later. I'm like, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm gonna enjoy my cheese stick.
Yeah, my cheese stick. My salad. Yeah, spinach.
My arroz con pollo, I'm okay.
Yeah. Caldito. Yeah. Okay, so
I think I want to ask y'all if as like a member of the Latin community or Hispanic community, y'all have heard before that saying that like, or not a saying, but like kind of that idea that like because you're Hispanic, it's normal to like smoke weed and take alcohol and like even do pills and stuff. Like it's normal to do that just because you're Hispanic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's times where like I even got like criticized by other like friends, and not only me. I know like it happens to a lot of other people, and they're like, oh, but you, like you're not being like a true like Latino. Like you need to like drink and you need to like smoke and blah blah blah, cause like that's what we are and that's what we do. And I'm like, first of all, no, like being Latino like brings so many other like subjects to the table that are not even discussed about. And second of all, I personally feel like this is a negative like connotation to have because it doesn't build on anything like positive. So I think like it is important to like inform yourself on like other things that that we Latinos stand for like historical achievements, social events, even like celebrities or like important figures who have done like important things not only like for let's say like our countries or America, but like for the world overall. Like there's so many other things that we could stand for.
Another reason why people might be drawn to like drugs, specifically marijuana and alcohol, is mental health. And I feel like that part is and isn't talked about enough. Like people will say like, oh, I do weed because like I like to relax myself. I'm stressed, school's stressing me, my family's stressing me, so like I'll do weed and like I'm fine. Well, I'm not fine, but like it helps me at least like relieve stress.
Now that you're talking about this, I do want to mention the fact that like it is a problem, but like in order to like probably find a solution, like we need to be careful because a lot of the times you hear like, oh, it's your fault, it's like something you're doing bad like boo-hoo, and that's not gonna help because like we do gotta understand that a lot of people like go through hard things, and sometimes like substances, whether it's marijuana, whether it's drugs or like alcohol, are like the solution and the way that like they manage to like cope with whatever they're going through, even though it's not like the healthiest way of doing it. That is a fact.
60.4% of students have shown to use these substances for like feel good reasons.
Yeah, and that just goes to show that like nobody's saying these things, but like the statistics are there.
The statistics is there, yeah.
And once again, how Miguel was saying, like it's not your fault like that you're having to go to these methods to alleviate your like self, but there are better and healthier ways that you can cope with these like mental health issues, for example. And some of those you can actually find in our previous episode about mental health. There are many resources out there for you.
Some ways to get help can be seen in our video about mental health. And at the end of the day, you can always find helpful resources. You can honestly go find better hobbies or things that you like to do and invest your time in that instead.
Absolutely.
There are other positive outlets you can pour yourself and your time into. Like
Do you have anything you do to relieve stress?
Honestly, it's always been music, whatever genre of music I listen.
Any specific genre?
We already know it's K-pop.
Yes,
It's okay. It's cool.
Dancing, hanging out with friends.
Definitely.
Like going out
Yeah,
with
like
your friends.
art. I like painting, and like honestly, when I do it, like I do feel like a form of relief, and I'm not only helping myself, but I'm also helping a skill.
For me, like, I don't dance professionally, but I love to dance all the time.
Just dance.
Like
Oh, yeah.
things like
Video
that.
games.
Salsa, yes, like salsa, merengue, bachata,
Sports.
cumbia, vallenato, anything.
Salsa choque.
Salsa choque. I don't even dance that good, but like it helps me relieve that, like, I don't know, stress or
Pent up energy.
like pent up energy that I don't know how to like express, literally. And it's helpful. Like all these activities are there.
So, like at the end of the day, this is a very complex and like confusing subject, because like what we saw in our studies was that only 11.6% of all the students that made part of the survey were Latino, of like the students who said they consumed substances. So it is something that our culture is not based on, and but it's definitely a subject that we need to learn and become aware about, and try to make
a stereotype that we have to dismantle.
like make a positive change. So.
And on that note, we would like to thank you for listening. Thank you so much for sticking through. This was another episode of Alianza Youth Talks. Stay tuned for our next projects. Thank you.